What up? What up? What up?
What's up, fam?
What's going on?
Chilling, man. Can you hear me good? Because I can't hear
Yeah,
myself.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. We
good.
can hear you.
Um,
Um, I don't know if our man Style Jumper is gonna be on since he's having some technical difficulties.
yeah,
Um, but if not, then we'll hop on. Pause. Keep the conversation
yeah,
going. Welcome to the Menswear Mastermind. If you guys have any questions, style related, let us know. This is the prequel um to our Menswear Mastermind, which we do every Wednesday. If you are looking to improve your style or your life, we help you with both. So um, we're answering all style questions. We got Easter coming up. We got Valentine's Day coming up. We got all types of stuff coming up. So leave your questions. We will answer them. If not, let us know where you're tapping in from.
yeah.
So
I just
shit.
send this to my YouTube right now.
You say you're sending it to your YouTube?
I just did, yeah.
Oh, okay. Detroit's back in the house for our big homie Frank, stylish over 60.
That's good.
How's the weather up there? Have y'all
It's supposed to
warmed
snow
up?
tomorrow. Nah, it was warm this past weekend for the most part, and then it snowed on Sunday night. But yeah, it's supposed to snow tomorrow. So
Yeah, we are warm down here.
lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, they already sent the email. Like the schools already have a 2 hour delay for tomorrow, and they're saying they might send another email to cancel it altogether. But we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
I have a haircut appointment scheduled for tomorrow too, so I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Any questions so far? I can't see anything.
No, no questions, just some comments.
Okay.
Detroit said it's cold here in the D. It's so cold in the D. Pause. How the folks ever trying to find peace? You know what I'm saying? That song still plays. I still jam. It's so cold in the D. Have you heard this?
No,
It's hilarious.
I'm gonna stay away from it too. Yeah.
It's a hood classic. Edward Tyler said it's 80s here in Florida. Got a question from my man Zeb Kohler said, any experience with viscose trousers? Have you had any
that that would be a no for me, but I'm guessing you probably have. I don't know if you have hands-on experience, but I'm sure you have experience with the fabric.
yeah, I mean I've had some clients who've gotten viscose. This this kind of goes to that whole bonobos. I wanna wear like dress pants, but tech fabrics. I mean I'm not a fan of it. It doesn't really accentuate the things that you want it to accentuate. It doesn't do any of the things that well dressed men want to be able to utilize. So it's not a fan for me. But if that's your thing, then you can wear it. I would advise against it. It just doesn't. It never communicates anything professional or well dressed or sartorial. You just look like an office dude who doesn't know what to wear. So that's
Gotcha.
that's what you throw on. Um, that's my experience, but
Yeah.
you can have your own experience. Stylish over 60 said, "What are your thoughts on wearing white sneakers with a pinstripe suit?" Don't. That's my thoughts. I don't have any.
Yeah, pinstripes is supposed to be a really serious fabric, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
and especially when you said pinstripe, you would have said a stripe. Like if you're doing a seersucker stripe, fine. If you're doing even if you're doing a chalk stripe, depending on the way that the fabric is laid out, it can play very casual because uh it's too stylish for a serious moment. But when you start talking about pinstripes, and for guys who don't know pinstripes, the difference between a pinstripe and a chalk stripe is a pinstripe is not a full on stripe. It's going to have those dots that are mainly for business, mainly for dressy, formalized occasions, but more
or gangster,
business. You said what?
or gangster,
Or gangster.
like Al
Um,
Capone.
right. So outside of that, um, the short answer is don't wear it because it's really for live midnight freshmen. I've seen it done well, but the fabrication was very casual. Uh, and then the shoes were, interestingly enough, very dressy. The sneakers were very dressed up in the way that they were utilized. They weren't just Stan Smiths. They were elevated in a lot of ways. The bubblegum bottom, like it was just a lot of elements that made it look good, but it's only been done well like twice in real life. So I would
Yeah,
say,
I'm not with the sneakers and suit, period. But I have done chalk stripe trousers with sneakers before.
okay,
Um, you know, maybe with like a sweatshirt up top or
hmm,
something like that. I've definitely done that because a chalk stripe flannel, can lend itself to being a bit more casual.
yep,
So it worked in that sense, but it wouldn't have worked if they were pinstripe trousers.
yeah. So I agree. There, if you're gonna do it, really know what you're doing, and most dudes still don't. And I mean no shade there. It's just a lot of dudes don't understand how to make that tasteful, and then they also don't know where to wear that. So then they're wearing it to like parties, but it doesn't convey what they think it's conveying. Anywho, Zeb Cola said I bought some Ralph Lauren purple label dress pants, thinking it was wool, but it turns out it was viscose. It looks like wool, but it's lighter. Also got silk linen blend trousers, but they look like they'll be impossible to manage. I mean, listen, do you? If the viscose works for you, even with purple label, that doesn't mean that purple label doesn't get it wrong. Or purple label isn't trying to be fashionable, and if it works for you, dope. It's just not something I would push for anybody. And the silk and linen, that's actually my favorite Ralph Lauren trousers, the silk linen trousers that they have. Up until I couldn't fit them anymore, I wore those things all the time, especially in the summer. So, what are your thoughts, Vlad?
I don't really have a thought on that one.
Okay.
Um, I mean, definitely, I'm a fan of seersucker.
Hmm.
Although I don't own any myself, but last year when I was about to get one, it was like September. I'm like, yeah, I might as well wait. So I'm definitely gonna jump on it early this year, like around April. Um, get myself a good seersucker suit. But I just find I don't really wear suits that often in the spring and summer. Really, I stick more to sport coats and out trousers, and those types of um, vibes as opposed to a full suit, unless I have to, obviously. You know what
Right.
I mean? But I think seersucker definitely. You want fresco trousers are really good. A half-sack sport coat is a go. So there's ways that you can definitely still look sharp in the warm weather.
Yeah. I mean, listen. I still think I still wear suits in the summer, but pause. But I feel like it's still there's still options there. So another but great insight. Thank you for the clarification. Edward Thompson said, "What would be a good warm weather starter pack for classic menswear?"
Oh, that's what I was answering actually. So
Yeah, true.
yeah, fresco trousers, half-sack sport coat, um, you know, seersucker suit. Those are all things that I would be getting as starter pack because I'm a huge fan of dressing for the season as opposed to wearing like four season suits all year round. So,
What's up to our man Style Jumper who just joined?
what up?
Peace. What up, fellas?
What up?
I didn't realize you were that old. He was having technical difficulties trying to figure this out.
Don't judge grown people, man. Stop playing. Wait till you get your kids in double digits, then you come talk to me.
Right, I got to have some kids first. Um,
Exactly. So come talk to me. in a minute. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Chilling.
Doing well, bro. So yeah, for you just to jump right into the conversation, what are some good warm weather starter packs for classic menswear, or for going back into the office since our man Style Jumper just dropped a dope video. Don't pay attention to the thumbnail as heavily. He didn't necessarily vote for Trump, but he's just letting you know that Trump went back into office. We're not talking about how you voted, but
yeah,
no
it's
judgment.
coming. Pause. It's coming. It's going to be released. So be on the lookout, folks. It's going to be an interesting piece of material. Stay tuned.
So for you, good warm weather starter packs.
Good warm weather starter packs, man.
We're
I haven't thought about this. I haven't thought about warm weather recently. It's so cold up here, right? Vlad mentioned, the seersuckers, the fresco trousers. You know me, I like to live on the fringes, right? So I always like to have my floor print shirts with some colorful, solid color chinos, some madras options as well. So shorts or sport coat there as well. Polos that are typically solid colors, and I would say a short sleeve Henley too. I like those for the summer. Obviously, headwear is always an option. All of us got fairly low hair or no hair, so having a nice straw hat, some style of straw hat for the summer is always great as well. And some shorts, so I don't mind pulling out the sticks because I got them.
Okay. For me, for the warm weather, I also, again, context matters. So it depends on what warm is, because warm is not hot weather, which a lot of guys don't think about. And so one of the things I've really tried on to say outfits me is the transitional pieces. So a OG of mine gave me some insights. He was like, I have 3 suits, 2 to 3 like jacket, pants, suits, whatever you want to call it, that are going to be the transition pieces. So between the degrees of 50, 75 degrees, it's not going to be hot, but it's not going to be cold either. It's this in between space. And we had a 75-degree day yesterday that was warm, but it wasn't hot. It was a very pleasant day. And so in those spaces, for me, I would tell you to look at I actually would tell you to look at a 4-season suit if you're thinking about suits. If you're thinking about a jacket, a wool silk linen jacket will play well into the summer. And interestingly enough, unless you live up north, I know that Edward Thompson said he's in Florida. So because of that, warm is going to be 70 to 85 degrees. It's not hot till it gets into the 90s there. So a great silk wool linen blend is great because it will play well pretty much all season, especially if you get the right color. And then also, this may seem off for some guys, but a great Pinwell corduroy is super light, but it plays well for cold winter. I mean, cold and warm, not hot, but warm fabrics. So that would just be another one that I would add to what both of the other fellas said.
Style Architects, can you explain to the guys like what is a 4-season suit? What does that look like? What type of material is that? What kind of, because not everyone knows. So can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so 4-season suit is going to be a wool. Generally, it's going to be a wool suit. It's going to be about 7 to 9 ounces. Was that 210 grams, 220 grams, something like that. It can range up to like below, as long as it's below 300 grams, you usually can maneuver depending on how hot you get. But it's going to be kind of middle of the road. Even with the color schemes, it's not going to be a light cornflower blue, suit, or a high navy that you would wear, cobalt navy that you would wear in the spring and summer. But it's also not going to be a dark classic navy or a military navy that you would wear in the fall winter typically. Now, again, a lot of bets are off when it comes to these rules of decorum, right, or rules of style now. But you'll have like a classic navy, middle of the road, or a if you're wearing gray, it's not going to be a charcoal gray, but it also won't be like a slate light gray. It'll be flannel gray, not flannel for fabric, but a flannel gray that is the actual color. So there's this middle of the road space. It's not going to be heavily texturized. It will be a worsted wool, not a carded wool, so it won't have any nubbly or texturized hands to it. It'll just be something that's middle of the road typically. So, Vlad, you have any thoughts there?
No, I think you covered it. I was gonna say, it's your worsted wool, under, like 220ish to 280,
Right.
somewhere around there in weight, but I've always found them not to work really well, like in this climate. Like there are very few months here where you can get away with them. Maybe like May, some September maybe. But for the most part, I stay away from them. I like, unless it's like a very serious suit, like a wedding suit or something like that. But for the most part, I like dressing in seasons. So
Yeah.
I keep my fabrics like seasonal for the most part.
There you go. Got size over 60 asking, can a three-piece suit be appropriate in the spring and summer?
Spring, yeah, it could be.
Yeah, and I think it's where you grow up, where you are, your geographical location will determine that for sure. Because spring in Detroit is different than spring in Atlanta,
Right.
or Florida for that matter. So for Detroit, yes, Unc, you can do that. But once you get past May in Detroit, three-piece might be too much, fellas.
Vlad, what's your thoughts?
No, I answered it. I said that I think spring you can get away with it.
Okay.
Right.
I'm always gonna be the context matter guy. It definitely is gonna depend on the type of fabric. I've done a three-piece mohair that did very, very well. I've done a three-piece seersucker. It's done very, very well. Done three-piece linen. That's done very, very well for the spring and the summer. I think it does really matter where you're trying to wear it because, for instance, if you're going to be inside, it doesn't really matter. You're not going to be hot because the space is regulated. But if you're going to wear that to like a garden party in the summer, you may have some challenges. And also, is it the end of the day or where are you living? Because in Texas, it's still 95 degrees at night. So you layering is going to feel a lot different than, here in Georgia, it may still be 70 degrees, 80 degrees at night. So you can get away with that depending on where you're going to be. So context matters there. But yes, short answer for spring. I think we all agree. Summer, it can be a little dicey just depending on some things. So we're at 824. We got a few. Hold on real quick. James Irvin, being as all cleaners are not equal, what do you look for in cleaning service when maintaining your wardrobe? Quick fire questions, guys.
Yeah, I'm
for it,
like so
Vlad.
scared of I'm so scared of these cleaners nowadays. I just do a lot of the cleaning myself. Like I wash my own shirts and I hardly dry clean my suits. I'm fortunate to have a lot of them, so I don't really get to wear them to where they really need to be dry cleaned that often. But that's a really good question, man. You do have to ask them some questions about what they use, like especially for like things like shirts, which get dirty a lot more than a suit, let's say. So if you're not into washing them yourselves, you want to find out what kind of material they're using, how do they press the shirts. Can they just wash them instead of doing like a whole dry cleaning type situation for your shirt? So those are all the questions that you really want to ask. But yeah, that's a pretty good question, man.
I would just add one other thing. Since really getting hyper focused in Menswear Mastermind, I moved away from starching my shirts.
Oh yeah,
Just doing a and then just doing a press and press the sleeve. I like my crease in my sleeve, but beyond that, no more starch. Those
yeah.
days are over.
Yeah, that's something I read. I want to say in GQ magazine, early 2000s, like tell them not to put any starch if you were dry cleaning your shirts. So that is something. Back when I used to dry clean my shirts, I always told them not to use any starch.
Only other thing I would add is see if they actually back up their claims of like we will accommodate any damaged items. That's always a good telltale sign that like they believe in their product and what they provide. Zev Kohler said Ascot Chain says no starch on their label, so good there. Shout outs to Key said just subscribe to the Patreon. Will there be a link? Appreciate the game. Shout outs to you, Key.
I haven't seen it yet though. I'm checking the Patreon now. I don't see anybody new.
Okay,
so
that's what's up, Key.
Where did you go, Key?
Yeah, Key. There will be a link if once we get the Patreon. So if you don't see something, make sure that you contact Vlad at Vladimir Riche on IG, and we can walk through what's going on with that to get that squared away.
Yeah, Chase that rider on IG.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chase that rider. And I'm sure he's already following you. Edward Thomas said, thanks, really appreciate all the information for you brothers. You are welcome. Stash over 60 said, I would add looking for a cleaner that does organic dry cleaning. I agree. He said he's Mark on there.
Oh, Mark, yeah, that came in yesterday, bro. So I already sent you an email today, but the email that you're using is a private Apple ID email, so I don't know if that actually got to you. But I did email you earlier. Let me see what time the email went out. 1:46 Eastern time earlier. I emailed you. But send me a DM on IG, and I can send you the link there. Because that email is I can't see your email; it's blocked. So I only see the private ID, Apple ID email, and that's the one I emailed.
All right, fellas. Well, it is 8:28. We went a little bit later because we hopped on a little bit later. But we are about to hop into the discussion on Menswear Mastermind. If you're interested in joining, you can still join right now, and we will be coming with some pause. We'll have some more information soon on Menswear Mastermind, some stuff that we're working on. Outside of that, y'all be easy, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace.